What's up, everybody? What's up? Good morning. It is game day. Week two for LSU. They're taking on Nicholls State to open the 100th year in Tiger Stadium. Things could not be more high octane, more pumped for this game. It's going to be a night game, evening game there at Tiger Stadium. You're going to be able to see the updates, the new lights, the new sound system. It's going to be outrageous tonight because you're going to see an LSU team that are full on confident, dying for revenge. That's the word. Yes, dying for revenge. They're aching for revenge. Sorry about yesterday if you tried to tune into our live stream and were unable to. It was still live streaming on Twitter, but we were shut down on YouTube because we love to kind of get in the mood with some intro music, and we'll kind of like go through like, oh, today we'll put on some Oasis. Today we'll put on some The Verve, which was a band we did yesterday, or ZZ Top, or what. Like, we all over the place, okay, all over the place, admittedly. And we did that, and they literally took our video down. We were doing the live stream, and then someone's like, dude, I can't even hear what you're saying now. Look what just happened. It's still live on Twitter, but look at this. And I'm like, what? And it was like, your content's been removed. And yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was a good show, and it was all for nothing, really, unless you happened to see it on Twitter or saw it before it was taken down. But whatever. It's we'll move on from that. Maybe rehash some of those points here. But LSU have a chance tonight against Nicholls to really put hey, that first game, there's some good things from it, especially defensively. But that first game was not us. This is the real us, and now we're gonna get the show on the road. You know what I'm saying? And so it's powerful that LSU could really. There could be some records broken tonight. I mean, I'm not wanting to go from a USC loss and the ineptitude we showed from there to we're going to break some records. We're going to be, but that's the type of talent we've got on this team, and that's the type of opponent we're playing tonight. This is a game to get as much confidence for the future of this season as possible, and you've seen Brian Kelly actually not take advantage of these moments with these games, these gimme games in the past. He would, the offense needs chemistry, and then he'd take them off when it was like 35-3. People have gotten a few touchdowns in a little bit of rhythm, but just really scratching the surface, and then bam, he's taking them out of the game. You saw that a lot in 2022, where it was like, these guys need to stay out there. These guys need to stay out there and get some rhythm here. They're not getting hit. There is always a danger of injury on every play. I get that, but that is not going to happen against Nicholls. This is a team where LSU should be able to say, okay, we want 3 touchdowns for Kyron tonight. Let's go get him 3 touchdowns. Or, hey, we want to get Aaron Anderson 7 catches tonight. You can do this. You can make that happen. You can achieve those goals. So why not go for the ultimate here tonight and spread the confidence around, but really rack up those yards, rack up those touchdowns, get this offense going, because last week was not it offensively. That was not it when you're talking about what this team could be, what this team should be, and even what we've seen throughout fall camp, throughout the offseason, and even you can include the Wisconsin game when Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. weren't as featured, and the ball was going to Lacey and Hilton and Mason Taylor more. This is a team that could be explosive offensively, and we've seen it. We've seen it already this season against USC, but in only these little bits and pieces. And 10 points, a touchdown, and a single field goal in each half is not going to do shit. And it might not even beat Nicholls State. You might beat Nicholls like 20-17 if you play like that. So like LSU have to really treat Nicholls as if they're playing USC again, as if they're playing a top 5 team again, a team that you just cannot wait to kick the shit out of and prove something. This is not a gimme game in any way, shape, or form. This is a game where LSU must hammer it home that we've got to build as much confidence as possible. We have got to generate some type of rhythm, some type of vibe offensively. Defense is fine. The defense is going to continue to get better. And if that's just the starting point, we were damn right about Blake Baker's defense being a top 60 unit this year, because that seems to be about, top 40 even, where they're going to be, number 44, number 45, something like that. It seems like the defense is capable of being able to do that. Still giving up big plays, which we knew was going to happen. But you saw so much of that minimized. And even if there would be like a 10, 12-yard catch, the tackle would be made, 2 or 3 yards after the catch. It wouldn't turn into these 30, 40-yard plays as you saw so much last year, or just, 50, 60-yard plays into the end zone, because we weren't tackling anybody last year. This year, you've seen a lot better tackling, a lot more discipline, and you are seeing better coverage. Still, allowing over 400 yards, we have the 111th ranked defense right now in the country. 111th. Right now by the rankings, and this is probably because of a lot of the gimme games in the first week, for a lot of these teams. So LSU just look worse on the rankings. But another game where LSU gave up over 400 yards, and another game where LSU let a quarterback put up over 350, 389 in the air on us. I'm really looking for tonight some big-time plays from the secondary, some big-time plays from this defense to get some momentum going as far as like creating turnovers, because they were close. They were close to getting a few fumbles. They had their hands on a few passes, getting a few pass breakups. Some batted passes at the line. You saw JVR Suggs get one. Savion Jones had a dangerous one that almost was a Whit Weeks interception. Should have been, really. Had it in his hands, and then a big old lineman just slaps his 350-pound forearm. It's going to, right at that moment where every catch is actually vulnerable. Even Randy Moss might not have been able to catch that, because it's in that moment where you're just kind of, from hands to forearm to body, you're kind of using all of it to kind of get that ball, kind of take the speed off the ball and kind of just deaden that, and just kind of grasp it. And right when that's happening, when it's kind of coming down into the body, wham! That's the time you can always get a strip, always get a pass breakup, always get, jar the ball loose. And that's that close to a big game-changing turnover. So LSU got to get that in their system tonight, where get some big turnovers that just change this game very quickly. Nicholls, say, come out offensively. I want to see Sage Ryan get his first, career interception at LSU. He's created some turnovers. He had a lot of fumble recoveries and forced fumbles. He had 4 total in 2022. None at all last year. Had 4.5 TFLs. He added that to his game. But Sage Ryan's been out there playing for a long time. At corner, at nickel, but he's never been at his main position of safety. Put him at safety, which is what we are hearing LSU have been practicing all week. Put him next to LCA, his LCA teammate and longtime close friend Jordan Allen, and see what they can do. Because I'm telling you, if you have questions about Sage Ryan, which I know a lot of you guys do, this is a game where he's fully capable of answering those questions and making some plays, creating a few turnovers, doing some great stuff to kind of win some confidence back against Nicholls State. If not, it's hard to maybe make that case that, hey, we got to have him on the field. We must have him on the field. We have to have him on the field. You've got to have guys on the field who are going to make plays and play up to their best ability. And we got to see it from a guy like Sage Ryan. And now if he's playing at free safety, I think you really have to see it. And I think you will. Jordan Allen has been balling out. Jordan Allen has been amazing. And we are set, of course, not only with the Jardin Gilbert targeting suspension for the first half of this game, but I think just because on merit, Jordan Allen should be starting this game, will be starting this game at strong safety. At star, I know they're probably going to still go with Major Burns. I don't think they're going to scrap that plan so quickly. But you got to try Javian Toviano. You got to try Kylan Jackson. Try a few guys in that role in this game. I know you've tried them in practice. It doesn't mean a damn thing compared to a game. Try them. Try Javian Toviano in the second half at star. Try Kylan Jackson at star. Try a variety of guys. Whoever you think might be able to fulfill the role. Harold Perkins. Obviously, we're not facing a team that is extremely offensively gifted, although they are a team that actually are probably one of the better offensive teams for like a minnow. So this team is actually capable of challenging LSU here and there, getting gains against LSU here and there, and maybe even embarrassing LSU here and there. Not saying they're going to win or anything like that, but keep it, or even keep it close or anything like that. LSU should be winning this by 30 plus points, obviously. But if LSU are coming out lackadaisical, especially in the secondary again, Nicholls State will make you pay. Any team in college football will make you pay. So LSU have got to have their wits about them, got to be ready to make plays, got to be ready to create some turnovers tonight, get some juice going. I also want to see some smarter coaching from LSU, especially offensively. Some better communication offensively. It might not just be down to pure play calling, pure coaching, especially when the play calls are run pass options. A lot of the RPO's success or failure goes down to the decision making of the quarterback, whether he's going to give that ball to the running back or keep it. And so many people fail to understand that and think, God, they're just running up the middle. But it's like, watch Nussmeier's eyes. You can even just watch the direction of his head. If you don't have to watch his eyes. He's looking. And then he'll keep it, make that good 10-yard throw to Kyron Lacy. Because he can see there's just nowhere to go. Or if he's seen, boom. John Emery Jr.'s got some holes. He's got some room to go. Josh Williams got some holes, got some room to go. Caleb's got some holes to go. Give him that ball. And you just saw some misreads and some times where USC, maybe there was some holes or some pathways. And right when he gives the ball, those just shut down. What? What's so funny? He's laughing at Bluey like crazy. Is Bluey just so funny to you, Sage? So, I mean, we got to get the run-pass option stuff going where Nuss has got to be able to make the right decisions. I think this is a game to get the confidence going of making the right RPO decisions. And it's not just always on Joe Sloan if those plays screw up. Obviously, lining up in shotgun at 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 3rd and 2 to run the ball. I don't get it. I might be old-fashioned. I might be old school. I might be like, because I mostly play defense. But, like, what are you doing? Get under center and literally fall forward. Get like a fullback, a tight end right next to you. Like just jumbo, ultra jumbo. Or do an empty, spread everybody out, and just have Nuss snap the ball. A very quick boom. right out wide. You think Lacey won't be able to get that? You snap the ball and literally just bullet the pass right to his gut. He's already getting the first down the second the ball's there. Like, just there's so many ways you could be creative with, like, motioning Xavier Thomas into the backfield, as we saw. That gained some yards for LSU. That had no problem gaining yards. There's some easy ways LSU could actually get these first downs from these fourth and ones, these third and ones, but running plays from a shotgun. If you're just gonna run, like, because now the dude has to get seven yards, basically 6 yards to get that yard. What are you doing? I don't understand it. I will never understand it, even if it's successful. Even it's just unnecessary. It's just stupid. But 1 second, and we're going to get into 5 things we must see tonight. 5 things we must see. Just 1 second. So 5 things we must see tonight for LSU in their home opener. They're in Death Valley. 100 years of Tiger Stadium. Celebration, a year-long celebration that will begin tonight. And we're just going to do some crazy promo for this. This Nick Cave Wild God ad is on everything on my site. It's like it knows that that's kind of our style of music. We'll take it. We love Nick Cave. That's cool. We'll take those ads. But that's our article that we released, I'm not sure when, a month or 2 ago. 100 years of Tiger Stadium, to 10 for 100 top 10 moments in Death Valley. We're not really going to plug it too much, but I'm just kind of want this visual of 100 years of Tiger Stadium in the background. Absolutely love it. This is an edit made by our man 007. Go. Let's see here. Yep, right there on absolutely. If you type in OOEAUX on Twitter, you're gonna find him. His edits are amazing. We love to work with him. Absolute badass, and he has always done LSU Odyssey right. Absolute badass. That's another edit made by him right there. This one in the top right corner, he made as well. This logo that we use with Tyrann Mathieu and Malik, and that's actually before Malik. We put Malik in that thing before he was the all-time leading receiver in LSU history. So that's kind of cool that there was some foreshadowing there. Oh, how do we get that back? There we go. That looks better. That looks better. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Or no. Let's go with we count. There we go. But maybe there. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. It's perfect. 5 things we must see tonight against Nicholls. 5. I just want to see LSU like go for 100 points. Like literally just pedal to the metal. Like usually in these games, you're scoring 45 points before the end of the first half, and then you're kind of getting guys off the field. You're resting some guys. LSU need as much confidence, as much practice together, in-game practice together, in-game chemistry together as possible. We didn't think the offensive line needed that. We didn't think the offense needed that. You know, they absolutely do. So, in my opinion, you leave Nussmeier out there for 3 quarters. I understand. It would be a catastrophe if he got hurt. If he's under pressure, if he's actually getting hit in this game, the Nicholls State defensive line are somehow able to get hits to him, yeah, sure. Bring him off the field after some confidence, puts up 4 touchdown passes or whatever. Okay. If he isn't being touched back there, let him break some records. I'm not even kidding. Like, let Nuss go off. Because I think we did a disservice to him last week and took the game out of his hands. I think you need to send a message that Nuss is the guy. We're going to back him, and let's take this thing to the limit, to quote the Eagles, and really let him just go off. Set a record for passing yards in a game. Let him break Rohan Davies' passing yards in a game record, which he could easily do against a team like Nicholls. I mean, he put up 304 in a game where he didn't play that well, in a game where he missed some throws, a game where he didn't play up to his ultimate standards. Because if he does, LSU win that game against USC. I'm not saying Nussmeier cost us that game. No way, shape, or form. Nussmeier, in fact, should have been given the opportunity to win us that game. I'm just saying it with RPO, some of the RPO misreads, the poor throw to Aaron Anderson when Aaron Anderson had a walk-in touchdown. Maybe he would have had to drag a guy from the 5-yard line to get in, but that's a big play. Instead, we had to settle for 3 points there. And we have to see more of that. We cannot see LSU settling for field goals against Nicholls. LSU literally go for as many points, rack up as much confidence, and play as many guys as possible. Get Shelton Sampson in the game. Last year, in this kind of equidistant game against Grambling, last year, Shelton Sampson dropped 2 wide-open touchdowns from Garrett Nussmeier. Perfect passes right to him, and he just drops them. Inexplicable drops. Crazy drops. But you understand that true freshman, first game in Tiger Stadium, all eyes on him. Probably his whole family's there. He knew when that ball was coming to him, oh my God, uncle, whoever's watching right now. Or, it was one of those moments. He now has a chance in a week where Brian Kelly calls him the focal point of what we're going to do on offense, which is saying quite a lot about a guy you didn't even play in the first game, which is very inexplicable and kind of strange and kind of bizarre that he didn't even play it like anything in that first game. But you're going to see him have a chance to really redeem himself from last year's drops. Last year, those things happening where he drops 2 wide open touchdown passes right to him from Garrett Nussmeier. He might be able to catch 2 touchdowns tonight. So Shelton Sampson, someone I think you got to have eyes on. Because you always see this in LSU's history. There's a guy they don't play in one of these opening losses, who then they start playing, and he like helps change the season for the Tigers. And you see when guys like, say for example, Whit Weeks are ignored, LSU actually lose games. We ignore throwing the ball to a guy like Kyron Lacey, who should have had a 200-yard game against USC. If we throw him just maybe 5 targets in that second half, even like the least we should have been throwing to him, he still maybe puts up 200 yards. It was that type of a day for Lacey, and it's inexplicable. It is outrageous, and it is bang out of order that we threw 2 incomplete targets to him all second half. Disgusting, disgraceful. Lacey, this is a game where you get Lacey in the end zone. You get Lacey over 100 yards. And then take care of him. Get him off the field. But you give him that confidence. You make sure he gets that kind of... He continues to feel good about his involvement even after barely even being used in that second half. But really, I want to see Shelton Sampson getting plays. I want to see Xavion Thomas getting in the end zone. I want to see all these guys involved. Of course, you're not going to see Chris Hilton Jr. involved again for the second straight game. Won't see him until South Carolina, if that, all because of a bone bruise. Kind of strange, but Whit Weeks is a dude we must see. Not only starting this game, but really playing most of it. You don't want to get an asset like Whit Weeks hurt against Nicholls. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to dominate, get over double-digit tackles, maybe create a turnover somehow. He's going to get TFLs. He might get a sack. He had a 93.2 pass rusher rating from Pro Football Focus. 93.2. The highest, obviously, on the team. Highest of anybody in that game. I think one of the highest of the week in college football. It was disgusting from Whit Weeks. He only had 1 registered quarterback pressure, though. So maybe instead of just playing the young man on third down for just 21 snaps, where he had 6 tackles and 1.5 TFLs and nearly had an interception, maybe play him the whole fucking game, and maybe he would get something like nearly 20 tackles. Seriously. You play him 63 snaps in that game, which is as many USC plays. And he had 6 tackles in 21 snaps. 260. So we can do this math. He would have had possibly 18 tackles. he would have possibly had 4.5 TFLs. He's probably not getting those numbers, obviously, but he's likely getting 15, 14 tackles, and he's likely getting 2 or 3, 2.5, 3 TFLs. You got to play this kid. He's an electric. By far and away LSU's best pure linebacker. Far and away. Not even a competition. What's up, Chris? How you doing, brother? Chris Melder says, morning, Lon. Super excited to see some of these young guys tonight. Yes, I think that's what this game has to be about. This game has to be about getting your offensive guys, your offensive starters, confidence. And then on defense, figuring out who you've got, utilizing a lot of your youth to see who might be better suited for some of these roles. Because our veterans on defense, they're underplaying. Major Burns, Jordan Gilbert, to an extent, Sage Ryan at corner, he underperformed. That was one of the worst games he had for LSU. I'm not sure what you meant. That sounded bad when you said it out loud. I need to work on that. I say a lot of weird football things that come out sexual. Yeah, we need to figure that out with LSU. We need to figure that out with LSU. The offensive guys, you've got to, work Shelton Sampson Jr. into the game, work Trey'Dez Green into the game, work Kamorion Pimpton. see these young guys. So we've got to see these young guys. I don't know how that could really sound that bad, but I get what you're saying, why it would sound bad. But I mean, I'm not like fucking Gary Glitter. I'm not fucking, Michael Stipe. I don't know why that would sound that bad, but we do have to see these young guys actually show up and deliver. We need to see them in the game. Buddy, I'm not blowing you up a balloon right now. He wants me to blow. He wants me to blow up a balloon for him. I can't even do this that well, Sage. You're going to embarrass me in front of the entire internet. Do you realize that? Boom. Do you realize you're interrupting the show and you're going to embarrass me in front of the entire world because I can't fully blow up a balloon? Okay, all right. Here we go, Sage. This is on you. This is on you if I have to cry for 2 hours after this. See what you've done? You've embarrassed me. You've embarrassed me. Look at this. This is nothing. This is nothing. Sage, I can't do it. I can't do it. Your mama's almost up. She'll blow you a balloon. I know. I just can't do it. I don't have the lungs for some reason. I've never been able to blow up a balloon. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. You have ruined this show, Sage. You have absolutely ruined this show with your balloon antics. Here, I'll give it one more try. Yeah, Daddy doesn't even know how to tie this thing. Like, you have such a little to work with to actually tie that. How do people do this? Okay, you can stretch it, you can pull it. Okay, that works. See, this is like a shitty-ass balloon, but this will work. I can't do this, Sage. Sage, I can't blow it up. Okay? That's it. So I want to see Whit Weeks for this game. I think he can rack up the stats. He can make the plays. He can really add to that resume as really LSU's best pure linebacker. And guess what? The reason why we love Whit Weeks on this team more than anything, he balances the entire defense. Have you noticed that? He actually, whenever he plays the majority of the game, LSU tends to win. LSU's defense plays better. And this as well. He unleashes the best of Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins makes more plays when Whit Weeks is on the field. So you have a better team, you have a better defense, you have more balance on your defense, and Whit Weeks unleashes your best defensive player. Why would you not have him on the field for literally almost every play? It makes no sense. So we're going to see Whit Weeks, I think, for a lot of this game. It would make no sense if we didn't. And to be honest, if we do not see Whit Weeks again, if we see Whit Weeks, getting 20, 25 snaps and he doesn't start and he's basically kind of ignored for a lot of this game until garbage time, serious questions must be asked about this coaching staff and how they continue to ignore the best players that they have on their roster, which really, Brian Kelly even admitted cost us a championship last year. You play your best players, we might be able to overcome Matt House being a terrible college defensive coordinator. We may be able to overcome that if we have Whit Weeks on the field. If we have certain other players on the field, maybe in different positions. If you're able to achieve that, maybe Mekhi Wingo avoids that injury as well. Maybe Mason Smith plays more up to his standards. LSU were able to really compete for a championship last year. So the margins from success to failure are very thin here. LSU are going to be in a lot of close games this season. We could either have 1-2 losses and be in the college football playoff, potentially an SEC championship game, potentially competing for a national championship, or we could lose 4 or 5 games. That is how thin the margins are, and that is how many close games LSU are going to be in this season. There are going to be let me see our season predictions. We had so many close games predicted, and it was just because there's no way around it. There's absolutely no way around it. We predicted LSU would win by 10 against USC, but even in predicting that, we make sure to say, hey, this is going to be like you kick a last field goal to kind of put it out of commission, not really a dominant, feel good victory. Turns out, we weren't 100% right on that. Obviously, LSU lost the game. But yeah, we picked many, many, many close games. And problem is now we've predicted also LSU to lose to Ole Miss. So now if things continue the way they are, we've got 2 losses now on the board if it goes our way, which hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we're wrong about that. Tonight we've got a 54-6 prediction. 54-6. But now that we've got most of our people in here, yeah, look at that. 36-33 we predicted for Arkansas. The A&M game, I think it was like 20-16, 26-16. So LSU make it 10 points, but still close. 34-27 over Alabama. Florida game is probably going to be way closer than that. Ole Miss, look at that. We have LSU losing 38-41. Have us destroying UCLA. We'll see about that. South Carolina could be another close one. There could be close game after close game after close game. And the difference between winning these close games and losing these close games, it's not always the play calling. I understand the play calling, putting guys in the best positions to succeed. All of that factors in big time. But players win championships. Players win games. You do not have wet weeks on the field, your defense is at a disadvantage. You do not have these, you play Sage Ryan at corner instead of playing him at safety. You're going to see a worse team. You're leaving a guy like PJ Woodland on the bench. Insane. And we're going to find out a lot about what some of these guys are capable of tonight, if they're really up for it this season. Because this is against Nicholls. If you're not ready to ball out, make some plays, add to the stat sheet, rack up some confidence, rack up some plays, then you don't belong on the field. Whit Weeks is a dog who you damn well know is going to be ready, and he's going to be relentless from the first sound of that kick. Jamer says, good morning, y'all. Go Tigers. What's up, Jamer? How you doing? What am I talking about? Of course I know how Jamer's doing. We were talking a lot of the night. Jamer's awesome. Jamer's a great friend. And we love you. I'm so sad that we just can't play any more music. Because we could just, dang, I can't believe that. Like, we couldn't even put a CD that we purchased. Like, we bought one of these CDs from one of these artists and put it into a CD player and play it without getting a copyright thing now. It's just insane to me how they run the internet now, where it's like, so you can come after us for copyright infringement when you purchased the CD or purchased the like you literally gave the band your money, unlike everyone else, and you can't play it on your own YouTube channel. Strange. Strange. I understand a YouTube video is a different thing, but Jamer, thank you for bringing that to my attention yesterday while I was ranting away on the show. And you're like, I can't even watch you. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, people probably not even able to watch us unless they're on Twitter, which was the case. So if something like that ever happens, which we're going to avoid at any cost, copyright infringement flags, we're just not going to share screen with like any footage because they're like so coming down on us for absolutely nothing. And it's very strange to me how some channels can literally use anybody's content, it seems. Music, videos, anything. And they're not getting in trouble for it. They're not even getting demonetized for it, which has happened to us a bunch where, you know, we aren't even to 1,000 subscribers to make money anyway yet. You can help that out, all 47 of you, by pressing the subscribe button. But it's just very strange how they run the game lately, and we want you guys to be able to see us. We want to be successful doing this, but I got to admit, I hate, absolutely disdain the way of society right now with the technology, with how, well, yeah, if you pay to play, if you sell your soul for this and this and this, you'll be successful. But if you don't, and if you have some integrity with some things, or you don't want to look like everybody else with some things, you kind of want to be original, and you don't want to just do what everyone else is doing. Now we're not even gonna just punish you or not like you. We're gonna like silence you. We're gonna destroy you. That to me is just fucking crazy. And it happens so much where, okay, your site's gone, your channel's gone. You know, Google has so much power right now. If someone just doesn't like you, they can just get rid of your business. They can just get rid of your work. And they have complete impunity with the internet to do it. And there's no like court system or something you could go to be like, hey, they just got rid of my channel for no reason. Or, hey, they just, you know, got rid of my site. Google did for no reason. Or, hey, the AdSense people are running ads on my site, but not paying us for it, which it has happened. We got them in trouble, and they had to send us over $300 in past revenues at one point. It was hilarious. But so there's just a lot of snaky, gross ways with the internet tonight. I mean, tonight with just, I think since 2016, 2017 is when it started, really. The internet became really super moderated, super just, it just became a clown show, basically, by a bunch of elitist assholes who want to monetize everything. But would you, like, as rich as as nice as it would be to be that rich, what kind of a douchebag would you feel like deleting some dude's site for like saying how he feels about something or playing some music in the background? Like it's really getting ridiculous at this point. But we'll get off of that and continue. He's still trying to get me to do this balloon. It's like, I can't do that, dude. Chris Melder says Weeks and Perkins should be a no-brainer. I like Penn. As I said yesterday, I think Penn gives you a different profile linebacker that we need. We don't have at LSU. There's just certain matchups where he is absolutely found out. In the passing game, in the rushing game, and his lack of speed is exposed. We cannot have that happen to us again. We've already got a loss on the board. Let's stop fucking around and play Wit Weeks. That's it. That's all you got to do. Stop fucking around. Stop dicking around. Stop thinking, oh, we can kind of get exotic here. We can have this guy rotate in and this. Just play Wit Weeks from the start and stop being stupid about it. Put Greg Penn III in on obvious rushing downs, you know, things like that, and stop being an idiot and just play your best linebacker. That's it. Stop being cute. Stop being stupid. Play your best players. That's it. And I'm telling you right now, I have a lot of, favorites on the team, of course, just like anybody. But even those guys, tonight, if they don't deliver against a team like Nicholls, they got to be off the field, and other guys must play because this roster is far too talented. This defense didn't have to be that bad last year. This offense doesn't have to be this bad this year. This team can play complementary football, have two great phases on the ball where you've got a good offense for once and a good defense at the same damn time. That is possible at LSU, but it requires playing your best players. And I understand it is harder said than done. It is a harder jigsaw puzzle to fit together. Those coaches know what those players are capable of more than anyone else. Still, play your best players. Whit Weeks, it is obvious at this point, it is obvious at this time, is your best linebacker. He's your best pure linebacker. Harold Perkins is your best defensive weapon. He's your best defender. He's not a pure linebacker yet. And we know that. Whit Weeks, that's a linebacker. And what's awesome about Whit Weeks is he's got that old school mentality. But he is perfectly adaptable to this new era of college football because of his speed, because of his cross training, playing running back, playing receiver, even punting the ball. The dude played everything. He still keeps giving me this thing. Sage, can we turn that thing down? Where were we now? We're on number 3. Get that rushing game going. Run the damn ball with some impunity, some power, some finesse. John Emery Jr. I'm so damn gutted that he's gone for the rest of the season. It just makes no sense. It's hard to fathom. He was really coming into his own there. He wasn't running to the ground in the game, but the decision to maybe practice him on Monday was a little foolhardy. You need to get Caleb Jackson going. You need to get Caleb Jackson the ball. You need to get him the ball early, often, and get him going. The fact that Caleb Jackson didn't run the ball with any energy, really, outside of one run in that game against USC is really unexpected, really weird, and it doesn't feel good for the future of the running game, right? You thought Caleb Jackson would come out of the traps, and you saw that from John Emery Jr. You saw that from John Emery Jr., a guy coming off a torn ACL. And actually, Caleb Jackson has had a torn ACL before his senior year. So it's kind of interesting there. This is the moment for him. Josh Williams did not show me hardly anything against USC. I know some of the plays weren't the best RPO reads. It doesn't matter. I need to see some outside off tackle running, not just these A gap runs right into trouble. I mean, I'm sure running up the A gap against Nicholls State isn't really going to be too much of a worry for us, too much of an issue. we should be able to get that push. Get it off the playbook. It is such a telegraphed, obvious, delayed shotgun, handoff, draw. It's just so bad. It's a Denbrock play. We saw it so many times by Mike Denbrock, and he would call it usually in the red zone. It would just kill drives like a shot to the head. It was just, we can't see it. We can't see it. You have to see some outside rushing. You have to see some more exotic. You know, there were some beautiful plays where you had Xavier Thomas motion into the backfield. Easy gain of like 5 yards there. There's a lot of plays to be had with guys like that. There's a lot of there's a lot of speedy receivers on this team that can be utilized in that running back way. And you're also going to see the debut of Juwan Johnson at running back. Seeing Juwan Johnson at running back is going to be interesting. Juwan Johnson at running back. You know, he ran the ball a lot as an electric dual threat quarterback at LCA. He's been practicing a lot to play star and has been showing off a lot of brilliant blitzing abilities, some speed off that edge, making plays off that edge with that speed. It is going to be very interesting, very entertaining, perhaps maybe I don't want to say it like this, but perhaps a revelatory moment when you see Juwan Johnson first getting the football at running back. It could be that moment where it's like this is the position for him at LSU. It isn't defense anymore. That who knows? Who knows what we see tonight from that young man at that position, but you will see him get the ball in that position tonight. Mark my words. After we go through this list, I'm going to give you some LSU lineup changes that we wrote about on the website. Number 2, letting us throw for as many yards and touchdowns as possible, but be careful with him. Be sensible with that playing time. Do not get him hurt. It could be a catastrophe. A catastrophe. Season-killing catastrophe if he were to get hurt. However, he has a chance to break some records against this team. He is that good. And stop. He is that good. He is that dominant. He is that hungry for success. You saw him throwing the ball over the place with such precision, such poise, such magnificence, and you kind of saw it taken out of his hands. I think he's going to have a point to prove. He's going to be angry. The number to beat is 528. That's the number. The all-time number to beat is 528 from Rohan Davey, 2001 against Alabama, the Josh Reed game, where Josh Reed put up, what was it? What did Josh Reed put up? It was something like 294 or something. 293. Yep, 293. Jesus. And then Booty was at 308. It's just insane. It's so insane that TDP, Ty Davis Price, had the all-time rushing record, single-game rushing record of 287 in one of LSU's worst seasons, 2021 against Florida. He had a 1,000-yard season in basically 5 games at the end of the year. And then in 2020, another terrible season. Another heinous, terrible season. You have Kayshon Boutte breaking the all-time single-game receiving record. And that was also the SEC receiving record. Both of these were. The Josh Reed record was, and then Kayshon became the all-time SEC single game receiving record. And it's funny that LSU did that in 2 years of complete mediocrity. See, look at that, man. Then Malik Neighbors from last year. LSU have been all over these record books lately in the last 4 or 5 years. No, definitely 5 years. Definitely count 2019 there. There is possibility for that again tonight if you let Garrett Nussmeier do it. And I think you owe it to him. Number one, though, the young guns. I want to see as many of these young players as possible. I want to see Dominic McKinley. I want to see Gabe Relaford. You know, there's so much potential on this team. We just mentioned Juwan Johnson, who's switched to running back now. I know he was on the team last year, but he's still a young gun. Javian Tobiano, I want to see him at star. I want to see him given some playing time. I know he had the off-field stuff. I know there was the issues going on, but you know what? He's on the team still. Give him an opportunity. He's that good of a player. He's that dominant of a talent, versatile of a DB talent. Let him go out there and play his way back into the good graces of the program. You've got the potential. We've mentioned Shelton Sampson already as well. Caleb Jackson has to have a big game, I think. This is a big moment for Caleb. You want to see DJ Chester get his assignments going, fulfill that. And Tyree Adams, we forgot about Tyree Adams. Tyree Adams is likely going to start this game at left guard, for the injured Garrett Dellinger. So Tyree Adams, this is a big moment for him as well. His first start as a Tiger, his first significant snaps in a game as a Tiger. This is a big moment for Tyree Adams. You know, Deshaun Spears, he allowed that touchdown that won the game, and it wasn't completely on him. The linebacker, Harold Perkins, in that spot absolutely needed to get deep and help him there and did not. He got caught up in the wash, leaving Spears one-on-one with a dude flying at him with a lot of momentum. You try and make that tackle. It doesn't matter how good you are sometimes. One-on-one tackles against athletes of today, sometimes it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Spears, I want to see him have a game where he has a comeback here. Maybe he gets a one-handed pick over the top. Someone's trying to throw it over the top of his 6'3", 6'4" frame, and he just goes, whoa. You know, there's moments for these guys to be had tonight. You know, you could see it. Tylen Singleton, linebacker, getting in the game tonight. Devon Keys getting in the game tonight. Devon Keys, that's a player that could be special for LSU in the future. And we haven't even seen him play a snap, really. Is he class of 2023 or 2024? I want to say 2024, but let's make sure of that. Because if he's already been here for a season, I'm going to be like, what? I don't think he has. There's no way. Yes, okay, he's still a freshman, thank God. Okay. I was about to lose it if we'd wasted a year of him. Devon Keys is someone who, he's still undersized, 230, 6 foot, but he has some special coverage abilities. He has some special tracking abilities that are just rare at the linebacker position. They're becoming less rare at the linebacker position now, while guys are being more cross-trained, guys are being more, you know, they're playing safety a lot in high school, stuff like that, to kind of help them transition into the modern linebacker spot. But Devon Keys, I want to see him get some playing time tonight as well. Let me think. There's, you know, do we want to see a ton from the quarterbacks? How many, like, I want to see Nuss not just play a half. I want to see Nuss play at least 3 quarters. You know, like, he has waited so long to play football, and now you're only going to give him like a half because, oh, well, it's a gimme game. No. Play him. Play him at least 3 quarters, 2.5 quarters, like whatever the score is. Play him at least 2.5 to 3 quarters. And then I cannot wait to see what Ricky Collins, A.J. Swan, and Colin Hurley can offer. And I think you really need to play all 3 of those guys. But for me, there's got to be a focus on Ricky and Colin Hurley. Colin Hurley, I think, is the most talented and most actually ready of all 3. Yeah, you could say A.J. Swan's the most ready because he played in the SEC already, and he has SEC experience. Of course. I don't think he's going to win you games. I think Colin Hurley might actually give you a chance to win a game more than A.J. Swan. I'm not even batting an eyelash at making that assumption. Why don't you finish your breakfast, AG? God, so comments. Oh my God. Lon, your thoughts on Juwan Johnson at running back? I'm super excited. I wish he was our backup quarterback too. I thought I just gave them. That's funny. You probably wrote that right as I gave them. Yeah, I'm excited to see him at running back because he was electric as a dual threat quarterback at LCA. Electric. I don't know. We could see him go for 100 yards tonight. We could see him bust off a few big time runs. Or, running back could be a little more difficult for him to pick up. It's not as easy as a position as people think. It's definitely one of the most physically punishing positions to play. Yeah, Caden Durham. Caden Durham, my man. Caden Durham is a guy we haven't even brought up. Caden Durham he looks ready to play already. And I think you have to find out how ready. Because LSU need every weapon possible. And if something's not working, if someone isn't working, you have to do you next man up. That's this type of team. This team isn't run by superstars. This team doesn't have those key veterans that no matter what, pounding the table, you must play. You must play. So test the waters, experiment, push the boundaries, push the envelope. See what you have in every single nook and cranny of this team so that Brian Kelly knows his team fully well. And I just don't think he does. I don't think he does because I don't think he's used his team enough over the last year to figure out how these young guys are. A Kylan Jackson, it's now time for him to really be smart about these gimme games and really get them scripted well. We're going to get this guy this many touches. We're going to get this guy this many yards. We're going to find out what this guy can do at this position. We're going to, you have to see what Sage Ryan can do at free safety if he can be that viable safety next to Jordan Allen, if that's the tandem. Because we have screwed up the safety tandem for a long time at LSU. We have to get it right. We have to get it right because teams have just eviscerated us right through the middle of the field since 2020, really. 4 years of being destroyed through the middle while having, maybe some highly ranked safeties, maybe some highly lauded or regarded guys. It didn't matter. It was the wrong combination. They're playing the too high look, too easy to throw shallow passes against, and then they're missing tackles in space. LSU have to get the safety combo right, and there's options to make it right. There's options to get it right. It's just knowing when to pull guys, knowing when a guy's giving you everything he can give you, showing you everything he can show you. That's difficult to know how to do that and when to do that and when to that takes experience. It takes coaching knowledge. Takes years of being in those situations. Look, you got the yawns. Chris says, do you think we will see Tylen Singleton, or are there just too many linebackers to get them all in the game? I hope we do. I mentioned him a bit ago. I really hope we do. Because he's another Louisiana homegrown. I mean, we didn't think we could get a player out of Manny High, didn't we? Did we? There's no way we could get a player out of Manny. Well, we did with Tylen Singleton. A huge signing. And we've got to play him. You've got to give him reps in these games. You have to give Tylen Singleton reps in these games. There's players you just simply must get reps in these games. You cannot afford to see these guys transfer because you just couldn't give them 15, 20 snaps in these type of games. And, I'm going to say a name that might leave this team soon enough if we don't give him some respect and some playing time. But Deshaun Womack, the kid barely plays. Every time he plays, he's effective, and he barely plays. I mean, let's see. How many snaps did he have against USC? I'm going to say like 5. And he had a beautiful batted pass. He actually had some play. I see that, and I'm like, okay, you're staying in the game until you're not effective anymore. Like, you're staying in the game until you prove to me you're not effective. Deshaun Womack had 11 snaps, but was the 5th rated defender on the team. 72.2 tackling grade was one of the highest. One pressure. In 11 snaps, Womack had 1 batted pass, 1 quarterback hurry, 1 tackle, 'Deshaun Womack actually covered a guy in the slot on a snap, according to Pro Football Focus. He was lined up in the slot area. Good Lord. So, yeah, Womack, 11 snaps, 1 or 2 tackles, 1 batted pass, 1 pressure. Play the kid. Play the damn kid. I don't know why it's such an issue. Play him. I think you're going to have some big-time performances tonight. I think tonight's going to be a fun game to watch, especially after what we endured last week, which was, you saw some good signs. It was exciting, but there was a lot of frustration. There was a lot of worrying. There was a lot of nail-biting and eventually a catastrophic loss. This is the first chance to make it right, to turn it around, to turn the page. Are you going to sue me now, Bob Seeger? Are you going to shut my video down now, YouTube? You faceless bastards. This is a time to really say, hey, we're LSU football. This is the 2024 season. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. This is the time to really put the boot up the ass and say, this is LSU football. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to kick your ass, and we're here for the long haul. We're here to compete for a championship. And you're not going to get those vibes from the national media after winning, 85-0 tonight. You're not going to get that love from the national media. You're not going to get that love from the national media. You're not going to get that, those dues. You're not going to get those plaudits, and you're not going to get those plaudits until you beat Ole Miss. That's how it's going to happen, really. But this is a chance to get that ball rolling. This is a chance to get things moving in the right direction. And I think you're going to see that. I think there's no way you wouldn't see that. I think the vibes are going to be high. Opening night in Tiger Stadium, 100th anniversary. I think the fans are going to be in big voice. I think it's going to be a night for the diehards. I think you're going to see a lot of the diehard fans there at this game. We were desperate to get to this game because it's the opening night with these upgrades. Couldn't make it. We barely made rent after what USC did to the bank account. So we're gonna have to re-up, and hopefully we can make it to UCLA or Ole Miss or something like that. But tonight we've got a 54-6 prediction for LSU. Hopefully it's more. Like, LSU, just go out there to score 100 points. Like, I would literally just let the dogs loose. Who let the dogs loose? Who? Brian Kelly. Who let the dogs loose? Who? Brian Kelly. Like, are you gonna sue me now? Are you gonna sue me now for that? Are you gonna copyright infringe me for singing "Who Let the Dogs Out" now? Like, holy crap! YouTube, you've gotten out of pocket, out of your gourd. YouTube, you're on acid. YouTube, you junkie. Anyway, really, 54-6 tonight. I think you let Nussmeier break some records. You let Nussmeier go for that 528 record, because this is a night to do it. And it's a night where if Nuss is able to break a record like that, even against Nicholls, you got a very confident quarterback who's flying high for the rest of the season. And it doesn't matter if he gets 220 versus South Carolina, as long as we win the game. He's not really going to care. Let him pad the stats in these games. Get the running game going. Feature Whit Weeks. Get the young guns playing time. Find out who you've got on this team in every shape and form. Get that rushing game going. Get that offensive line chemistry, finally together. And really go for it tonight. If there's a chance to score 100 points tonight, I really don't care about sportsmanship in this, in this scenario. We're not playing Army. We're not playing Southern. Put the boot to the throat and go score 100 points tonight. Seriously, we just lost to USC. That should never be acceptable. That should never happen. I don't care how good USC played. We should not. We are LSU. We should not fucking lose to USC ever. This isn't Pete Carroll. There's no Reggie Bush. There's no Clay Matthews running around. There's no Bruce Matthews. There's no Marcus Allen. There's no there's no Palomalu. How we lost that game, I will never understand. And yes, USC made the plays. They just made the plays. Every time. They just made the plays, really. Well, tonight, I want to see a ton of playmaking from LSU. I want to see a lot of highlight reel plays, because there will be many opportunities to do this. This is not a time for a flat performance. This is time for energy. This is a time for brutality. This is a time for dominance. This is a time for the Tigers to stamp make your mark. Make your fucking mark and say, listen, here we are. Here we are. We have arrived. Yes, the season didn't start out the way we'd like to, but, from here on out, this is on our terms. Tonight's the night for revenge. Tonight's the night to make it happen. Tonight's the night LSU get their first win of 2024. 54-6. LSU will win against Nicholls, and it should be by even more. That's a conservative estimate. It should be by even more. What are your predictions? What are your kind of keys to this game? Post those in the comments below. We'll be live for a few more minutes here before we close up shop. Oh, everybody. LSU wristbands on. Dude, I'm not blowing up balloons. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Dude, you have literally spilled this entire bag of balloons around this place while I've been doing this. Oh, silly boy. All right, everybody. Chris, thank you for commenting a ton. You always contribute to the shows. Jamer, you always contribute to the shows. I always appreciate it. You too. Make me feel like I'm not talking to a wall. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. And we'll be doing a post game after the game tonight. Even though, of course, every fucking year there's always a billion obstacles in our way of actually trying to do this, we will persevere and do it regardless, because that's what we do. It just seems like it's getting exhausting to the point where it's just so many obstacles. And we just keep battling through, but it gets exhausting after a while. We've been doing this for 6 years, like it's crazy. We have an endless energy for this because we love LSU, but we need your help. We need your support. We need that to take this thing to the next level. Jamer says, I feel like they go by seniority too much instead of effectiveness, and it drives me crazy. Absolutely. And we've seen that for years at this point now under Kelly. And it's just, yeah, he started, Campbell, Emory Jones as freshmen, Mason Taylor, but that's almost out of complete necessity. They had no one else at either of those positions. No one else. So it's time for LSU, time for Brian Kelly to trust the young guns. Because LSU have a young roster, a youth kind of rooted roster. Even the leaders are like redshirt sophomores, redshirt freshmen. Like, we have a redshirt freshman as a starting center. This team is young as hell, but you know what? So was the 2003 LSU team. Sage, get down from there. Get down from there. It's a drawer full of stuff you should not be into. And this is why we should not be doing podcasts while you're in the room with us. All right, everybody. We're going to be going. Chris Melder says Dominic McKinley didn't even play on defense. Nope, he didn't. There's not a single snap. Not a single snap. Jalen Lee actually just got one snap. That's kind of like, you just gave him one play. Deshaun Spears had 2 plays the entire game, and one of them was that touchdown. He wasn't even credited with a missed tackle on that play. Nope, Dominic McKinley did not play a single snap. All right, everybody. We'll be seeing you for the post game right after the game. Tell your people, tell everyone you can to join. The more people that join, the better the quality of the show is. If it's just me ranting and raving at the screen, it's not really that entertaining for you guys. I don't think. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But I enjoy it more when there's more interaction. I enjoy it more when I've got a guest. I enjoy it more where there's more people involved. So please, if you love what we do, if you have the time, choose us. I know there's a lot of post games you could watch. You could watch Whiskey and Wine. You could watch this. You could watch Card of the Power. You could watch that. Like, I understand, and a lot of those are maybe better production than we've got. But you're not going to find more passion than here. You're not going to find more intensity and more obsession with the details of the game than here at LSUODYSSEY.com. And also, when you tune in here, every single time, you're going to get information, you're going to get insight that you're not going to get anywhere else, because we talk to the people. We talk to the people. LSU versus Nicholls tonight. We just went through the 5 things we must see tonight. Send us your 5. Like, subscribe, share this as much as you could. It would really help us. Have a fun time tonight if you're going to the game. This is a very historic season. 100 years at LSU, baby. 100 LSU, 100 years inside Tiger Stadium at LSU, baby. And it's this is, to quote the great Bill Walton, this is what we live for. This is what we live for. Not the best impersonation, but all right, everybody. 54-6. LSU should win. 54-6. Thank you, guys.